It's Friday, June 16th, and this is now on HNN.
This name just fits and feels right to us.
The city announces the official name of Honolulu's rail system.
Maui's district health office is warning businesses about a food inspector imposter.
There's more people in government are going to get caught doing illegal things.
After a major public corruption scandal rocked the state capitol, a look at the efforts underway to improve accountability and transparency.
You have a wonderful petting zoo with goats and sheep and ducks.
These stories plus will take you to West Oahu for a family fun festival happening this weekend. Details coming up on This Is Now.
Aloha and good afternoon. Happy Aloha Friday. Honolulu's rail system now has a new name.
Yeah, the city made the announcement this morning. They're hoping the new name will offer a chance to rebrand the costliest public works project in Hawaii's history.
Our modern rail system is an elevated one. The views are expansive from up above, and our riders will be able to see and discover new parts of their familiar neighborhoods and coastlines they haven't seen before from this new elevation. Skyline. This name just fits and feels right to us. And we can't wait for the public to join us.
There you heard it. It's called Skyline. Now, other names that were considered include Heart, the train, like the bus and the handy van, and rail. So the new name Skyline comes ahead of opening day of the rail's first phase on June 30th. On that day, riders will be able to try the rail for free from July 1st to the 4th. The service will still be free, but riders will need a holo card to get on. Now, Roger Morton, he's DTS director, he said the first phase of the rail line from Kapolei to Aloha Stadium won't alleviate traffic at first, but he says once the next segments are added, he does expect ridership to grow.
What do you think, Ash? You're a fan of the new name?
I mean, it's better than rail.
I think
Heart.
rail will be sticking around for a lot of people for quite some time. We're going to go ahead and give you a look at some of your other top stories, including a number of crashes that happened in the last few days. A man is dead following a rollover crash on the H1 freeway yesterday evening. Honolulu police said the incident happened around 11:40 p.m. in the Aiea area. Authorities said the man was driving eastbound when he suddenly veered off the roadway, went up an embankment, and plowed into a metal sign post. He was then ejected out of the vehicle. EMS says the man appeared to be in his 50s and was pronounced dead at the scene. Police said the man was not wearing a seatbelt and speed does appear to be a factor in the crash. It's unknown if he was driving under the influence. This marks Oahu's 27th traffic fatality this year compared to 23 the same time during last year.
New at noon, Maui's district health office is warning the public of a man impersonating a food safety branch inspector. On June 6th, officials say the individual approached a food truck in Honolulu wearing a green badge and no inspection tools, and identified himself as the new food safety inspector for Lahaina. The impersonator told the victim that they weren't allowed to prepare food in the food truck and then removed the business's green pass placard. The victim was told they had to go to the office to get approved for another placard. The Department of Health is reminding eateries that the food safety branch does not remove placards without replacing them at the time of the inspection. DOH badges have the inspector's name, job title, and photograph, and inspectors carry tools to conduct an investigation. Honolulu police are looking for a driver who may have been a witness to an attempted kidnapping in Hawaii Kai. It happened last Saturday, sometime between 6:15 and 6:45 p.m. along Hawaii Kai Drive near Kamilo Iki Community Park. Police say a man allegedly tried to force a 15-year-old boy into a black SUV. A witness says they saw a light-colored four-door Tesla sedan driving in the area around that time. Investigators hope the car's video recorder may have captured some footage that proves useful in the investigation.
We just want to see that, maybe your vehicle's cameras may have caught part of this incident, maybe the suspect vehicle, license plate, or maybe even the suspect himself.
The suspect is believed to be in his 50s with a dark complexion and heavy build. Call Crime Stoppers at 955-8300 with any tips. Meanwhile, families are encouraged to talk with their kids about safety and avoiding strangers.
And now to some dramatic video from Honolulu Freeway. A vehicle's rear side camera caught the shocking moment a pickup truck slammed into a guardrail. The incident happened Thursday morning near the Red Hill off-ramp. In the video, the pickup truck loses control and swerves across 2 lanes of traffic before crashing into and going over the guardrail. According to EMS officials, the 31-year-old male driver escaped with only minor injuries and he declined transport to the hospital. Thankfully, no other vehicles were involved. The family of a Hawaii woman shot and killed at Las Vegas's Fashion Show Mall has now filed suit against the popular shopping center. Clarice Yamaguchi died on New Year's Eve in 2021 after suspects Jordan Ruby and Jasani Carter allegedly shot her during a purse-snatching attempt. Attorneys filed a wrongful death lawsuit this week, claiming the mall should have had more security for the holidays. They also claim that security should have been on the lookout for the suspects because they were also allegedly involved in robberies just days before the shooting. Both Ruby and Carter remain in custody, charged with murder. Their trial is scheduled for March.
The man who gunned down worshippers at a Pittsburgh synagogue in 2018 is guilty of all charges. Among the charges against Robert Bowers are 11 counts of obstruction of the free exercise of religious beliefs resulting in death. That's a capital offense, making the 50-year-old eligible for the death penalty. Bowers was also convicted of 11 counts of hate crimes resulting in death. Next, the trial will enter a second phase in which the jury will decide whether to sentence him to death. The mass shooting left 11 people dead and 6 wounded. It was the deadliest attack on Jewish people in U.S. history.
At least 4 people are dead and dozens more injured after severe weather wreaked havoc across the plains and the deep south. Now, the system produced multiple tornadoes, hail, and even flooding rain, and forecasters warned that more severe weather could be in store over the weekend. Jay Gray has a closer look.
A massive funnel cloud.
Tornado is just 100 yards or so right there.
Ripping apart the Texas Panhandle, the small town of Perryton left in ruins, entire neighborhoods wiped away.
It doesn't look real. It almost looks like staged and fake, but unfortunately it is real, and it's not a nightmare we're going to wake up from.
At least 3 people, including an 11-year-old, killed, dozens wounded as a twister a quarter of a mile wide rushed through, part of a string of storms that produced high winds, hail, and flooding rains across the plains and deep south. Hundreds of thousands without power across the strike zone. Some areas in Florida dealing with more than a foot of rain overnight. In Escambia County, a tree pushed over and into a home, killing someone inside. As the cleanup begins, excessive heat warnings are in effect across the region. Some of the highest temperatures expected in Texas and Louisiana, and more than 50 million, including many in some of the hardest hit communities, again facing the threat of severe weather through the weekend. Jay Gray, NBC News.
We're continuing our HNN series, The Debrief, and we're joined now by our digital producer, Emily Cristobal, who spoke with some key lawmakers to discuss ethics reform. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, Dylan. So I recently talked with State Senator Carl Rhodes and State Representative David Tarnas about improving transparency and accountability in our state government. This is what they had to say.
I do think that because of the bills we passed, there's more people in government are going to get caught doing illegal things than were before. And in the short run, people are going to say, look, it's getting worse. It's not getting any better. I don't think that's the way to look at it. I think that once would-be crooks realize that there's a high probability they're going to get caught trying to steal taxpayer money, they'll stop doing it. But things may actually get worse, or at least appear to be worse in the short run.
These are folks that decided to do something illegal, fully knowing that this is illegal, and they did it anyway. I was appalled. But, you know, legislators, all the legislators I'm working with, these are very honorable people, and we play fair. It's just upsetting when you have a few bad apples that choose that they think they're above the law, but they're not above the law. And it's time we stop this behavior.
So that was just a short portion of a longer conversation that we had about ethics reform. And we also discussed bills that are being pushed forward that also cover campaign integrity, election integrity, and also just preventing corruption in general.
Definitely touching on a lot of topics there. What were some other highlights from your conversation?
Absolutely. So one of the big things that we talked about was also receiving gifts from people. So they gave the example of, if an auntie comes up to you and they give you a lei, it's not like you're going to go up to them and be like, no, because that's a part of Hawaii's culture. Receiving a lei is, well known. But also when doing gifts, you also can't receive things that will sway your judgment on things or sway how you will vote or like the policy that's happening. So it's really a fine line, and we discussed that topic and more in this next episode of The Debrief. So a lot of topics just talking about ethics reform and making sure that our legislators and our government officials are staying transparent and are being held accountable.
Yeah, most definitely. Real quickly, where can people watch?
Yeah, so you can watch online at hawaiinewsnow.com. We're actually going to be streaming it at 1 p.m. So check out our digital platforms as well as our website. And we're also going to have a full web story. You can also listen to it on podcast and the video version as well.
Our digital producer, Emily Cristobal, looking ahead to today's debrief. Thank you so much, Emily.
Yes, thank you so much.
The Honolulu Police Department is rolling out a fleet of retrofitted Chevrolet Colorado trucks, changing the way officers patrol the streets. It's the first time pickup trucks will be used to conduct traffic stops, arrests, and answer 911 calls. While cop cars have caging or plastic barriers that separate officers from those taken into custody, these trucks do not have partitions between the front and back seats. HPD says the trucks are not meant to transport arrestees yet.
We'll be making traffic stops and responding to the calls for service in these pickup trucks. All HPD pickup trucks are properly marked with the Honolulu Police Department decals, and they're equipped with police radios, lights, and siren.
These trucks were bought in 2020 using CARES Act funds. During the pandemic, they transported tents and other supplies for Oahu's COVID response. Now to a heartwarming story out of Maui, where a veteran who was once living on the streets has found a new beginning. Chelsea Davis has his story.
Air Force veteran Lawrence DeLizo spent more than a decade living on the streets of Maui. But 2 weeks ago, he finally moved into his own home.
It's a transition for sure, because, being homeless for so long, you're not used to having the walls around you.
Larry is a black belt in Taekwondo, has a nursing degree, and was once a homeowner. But depression took over.
I gave up my lifestyle. I gave up my marriage. And I started drinking.
He found himself homeless at Amala Place in Kahului. That's where he met advocate Kisa Liu.
Didn't fit the profile of what people were telling me what houselessness looks like when I saw Larry. And I realized support was missing.
So Kisa made it her mission to help Larry find a home, but lost track of him after a county homeless sweep in 2021.
Not only is it traumatic for the people and you can look up as many studies as you want of how that's actually really harmful. But two, it creates more work.
So Kisa had to find Larry and help him with paperwork again. A couple months later, he was forced to move from his encampment a second time. So Kisa took him home.
Excuse me, I'm getting emotional about this too. Because for her to take me off the street like that, into her home.
After a year and 7 months, Larry is off of the streets. But Kisa says there needs to be a better way to help the homeless.
The path to being housed is so challenging and traumatic in itself that it doesn't seem worth the risk anymore. And maybe we change that process to make it easier.
Larry now hopes to reconnect with his children and put his culinary skills to use. Reporting in Kahului, Chelsea Davis, Hawaii News Now.
Our Mahealani Richardson has spent the last week in Alaska with the crew of the Hokulea. Now, yesterday was the launch ceremony ahead of their next major voyage.
The global launch ceremony is a celebration and coming together of Pacific cultures after nearly 50 years since Hokulea's first long-distance voyage. Moana Nui Akea is considered the longest and most dangerous voyage in its history.
It's still here, and it's stronger than ever.
What makes this voyage deeply personal for you? For me, it's because knowing what and who we're sailing for. There's promises that we kept, and that's to our teachers. The kuleana is to stop extinction of our traditions, our culture, our heritage.
The crew honors the late Mau Piailug of Sarawal, who taught Native Hawaiians how to reclaim their voyaging heritage using only the wind, ocean, and stars.
Mau always says there's two storms. One is in nature, these beautiful, beautiful, amazing, powerful places, but the one he said is more dangerous is the storm inside you, and it's fear.
36-year-old Lehua Kamalu is Hokulea's first female captain and navigator.
You prepare for it, you train for it. For myself, this is my 14th year doing this, and to me that's still just the beginning.
For many in the crew, the launch from Alaska is bittersweet, in memory of canoe family members who have passed.
The last time we were standing on these shores, they were here greeting and welcoming, and so it's full circle, right? It is. It's
The Pacific region is facing environmental, political, economic, and health challenges. UH President David Lasner has sailed with Hokulea and says this voyage is important because it's close to home.
It's really a time, I think, for us to come together in the Pacific and help ourselves addressing these challenges together.
It certainly is full circle, an emotional ceremony for these crew members and the Hawaii delegation. This journey around the Pacific is 47,000 miles. Reporting from Juneau, I'm Mahealani Richardson, Hawaii News Now.
A beautiful story there by our Mahealani Richardson, who's doing some amazing work in Alaska. Let's look now to Kilauea. This is inside Halema'uma'u crater. Look at that volcano, still active and spewing. A beautiful sight there.
That's right. And we made it to Aloha Friday, Dylan. Thank
Amen.
goodness. So what is in store for the weekend? Father's Day is on Sunday. Let's check it out with Guy Hagi.
We are expecting an enhancement for showers, an increase in those windward and Mauka showers Sunday night into Monday, right? Those showers should be moving along, so we shouldn't have to worry about flooding, and drier conditions coming in by Monday night. Should be fairly dry for the rest of next week with a few more trade wind showers. So we're going to see beautiful weather for the next several days, right? Lots of sunshine today, tomorrow, and on Sunday, just a few passing showers. And then again, Sunday night into Monday, Juneteenth might be a little bit damp, especially early, and then drier conditions take over again on Tuesday. And until Tuesday, we'll have the trade winds run nice and firm, 10 to 20 miles an hour, which means great air quality, comfortable humidity levels, and then things go a little bit more sticky when the winds slow down on Wednesday.
Time to take a look at some news from the feeds. Pope Francis is back at the Vatican after doctors released him from a hospital in Rome this morning. Now, this is more than a week after his latest abdominal surgery. Tina Kraus has more.
Crowds wished Pope Francis well as he left Rome's Gemelli Hospital with a big smile, 9 days after an operation to fix a hernia. The Pope is well, his surgeon says. He's better than before. When reporters asked how he was feeling, the 86-year-old pontiff quipped, "Still alive," a joke he made just 2 months ago after being hospitalized for bronchitis.
We're very glad to hear that he's feeling better and he's coming home.
Pope Francis waved from his Fiat as he headed back to the Vatican, stopping to pray at the famous St. Mary Major Basilica, where he often visits to give thanks. As he arrived home, Vatican aides announced Pope Francis will make his traditional Sunday appearance at a window overlooking St. Peter's Square. This sister says, "I am happy. I pray the Lord will leave him with us for a long time because he's everyone's Pope." A sentiment shared by many around the world. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
Well, let's go ahead and look at some good news now. Let me go ahead and remove this super here, but there are some fun things happening out in Kapolei this weekend. If you're looking for some wholesome family fun, go ahead and check out the Eva Sweet Festival. Our Casey Lund takes us there.
Aloha, beautiful day out here at Loon Farms. The second annual Eva Sweet Festival, sponsored by Meadow Gold. Free ice cream, by the way, if you come out here. And it's just $5, so really affordable and a lot to do, including a petting zoo and pony rides. I'm here with Sandra Walker from Paniolo Parties, panioloparties.com if you guys want to book, because you'll want to. We haven't even seen Kuipo yet. Let's show Kuipo. Tell me a little about who we have here.
We have Kuipo, and this is Kaimalino, and he's named for his beautiful blue eyes.
Beautiful,
Ocean
beautiful.
blue eyes.
I want to ask you what you guys offer. You're going to be out here Saturday and Sunday.
And we're going to give pony rides to keikis, and we have a wonderful petting zoo with goats and sheep and ducks and exotic animals, some cute ones.
And you're telling me that these horses might have a busier schedule than I even do. You guys book out, and so if they want to get in touch with you, they gotta get in touch with you quick, because she goes to parties.
She's doing a party tonight.
A birthday party?
Yes.
What's the size limit? Am I a little over for Kuipo?
No, actually, if you come on Saturday or Sunday, you can ride in the carriage.
Okay, the carriage.
It takes up to 300 pounds.
Oh, very good.
Are you
just
okay
under.
with that?
I'm just under, Sandra. Thank you so much, Sandra Rockers and Jimmy James with us, and Kuipo, and anyway, what's the name? Kaimalino. Awesome. We want to ask really quickly, Lisi Heimuli, who is the event organizer here at Loon Farms. There's all kinds of stuff, including the petting zoo, right?
We got petting zoo, kiki activities. We got hay rides, free hay rides for the kids. So we got all things going on.
We were out there this morning. Yeah. We showed folks that on Sunrise. That was fun. And you pick corn. There's so much to do. And what I love about this is it's $5. That includes your parking and kids under 2 free. And then on Sunday,
it's Father's Day, and we're giving away free watermelons to all of the dads who join us on Sunday. So come out.
Yeah,
you get a free melon.
I just want to ask you too, on a serious note, this is such a special place, but it takes a community support to really keep it going. And you think about the idea that you can pretty easily make a completely Hawaii-grown Father's Day meal. How important is that community come out here to events like this and support you guys?
Well, it's just to come out and see what we do out here on the west side, and it's all about fresh produce, sustainability here in Hawaii, and just support local. And we'll have all local vendors, from craft vendors to food vendors to everybody in between.
Very good. Lisi Heimuli with us from Loon Farms. All the details, if you missed any of those, again, it's 8:30 to 5, both Saturday and Sunday. Kids under 2 are free. So check them out. We have the link also at hawaiinewsnow.com. We'll sign off. Petting zoo. Come see it. Aloha.
Well, that was just absolutely adorable. Wasn't that, Ashley?
Yeah. Kuipo.
The little unicorn horn. I loved it.
Yeah. So one last story before we go on this Aloha Friday. Scientists have discovered a new species of dinosaur.
Ooh.
So the Natural History Museum says the armored dinosaur was found on the Isle of Wight off the coast of England. It's part of the Ankylosaur genus and was named Vectipelta barretti after Professor Paul Barrett of the Natural History Museum. Now, researchers say this dinosaur would have been roaming the Earth during the early Cretaceous period. Parts of its fossils will be displayed at the museum this summer, and this is the first armored dinosaur found on the island in 142 years.
Absolutely fascinating. Yeah. I also am curious as to what secrets the volcano Halema'uma'u crater holds. Who knows what's buried under there? But this is one more live look. The activity is still bumping and flowing there over on Hawaii Island. If you're lucky enough to get a glimpse of it, you still have time, as you can see right there. Thank you so much for joining us here on This Is Now.
Have a great weekend.